给我们介绍。他今天给我们准备的报告跟汉语词类有关的，这个都是一个很热门的话题。欢迎。
Thank you everyone for coming today, and I will try to speak English. I hope it will work out. And today I would like to talk about lexical categories in ancient Chinese, and specifically about continuum of lexical categories in ancient Chinese, a shift or the total absence of the basic syntactic function. It is widely known that there are two major word classes that can be set up for Sino-Tibetan and Tibeto-Burman languages, nouns and verbs. And the derivation of nouns from verbs is kind of a characteristic of morphology of these languages, whereas the reverse type, the derivation of verbs from nouns, is exceedingly rare. Still it happens, and that is why the main question is the main problem. If a certain lexeme, for example a noun lexeme, can be used in different syntactic positions, maybe say that a lexeme's syntactic function shift doesn't indicate the total absence of the basic syntactic function, but may be the marker of a lexeme's basic syntactic function existence and only its possibility to shift. So the main topic was to analyze ancient Chinese noun lexemes acting as a verb and analyze their compatibility with distinctive nominal and predicative markers. We are not talking about phonology like we did this morning. We are talking about grammar and their syntactic features. So the first step, the first stage, we decided to analyze several semantically different nouns. It is very important about semantics, abstraction noun lexemes, and physical object noun lexemes. From the treatise Luhmann, when these nouns act as verbs. Why have we decided to choose these treatises? Despite the fact that Luhmann is kind of an individual author's product, but according to some scientific investigations, it can reflect the specifics of a real language of that period. So it's kind of a reliable source. And after that, after we found these lexemes, noun lexemes acting as verbs in this treatise, we decided analyze their compatibility with distinctive nominal and predicative markers on the base of the earlier texts, earlier than Luhmann and a little bit later. So we analyzed all kind of for about 100 texts of 14 centuries almost, and after that we decided to try to propose a method of defining the basic syntactic function of a lexeme, and a method of defining lexeme's place on the continuum of lexical categories. But of course, speaking about ancient Chinese, we can't use all the periods of ancient Chinese. We started from early Zhou Chinese and stopped at post-classical Chinese, avoiding archaic Chinese because mostly it's all about oracle bones texts. Their structure is kind of a strict. They have kind of a strict structure, rigid structure, and we can't judge about grammar of that language of the period only analyzing Jiahu Wei. So we used a standard linguistic analytical method using a corpus approach to language material and elementary statistical calculations. And these are just some examples of all the results which we got. Here you may see 4 noun lexemes with the semantics, with abstraction semantics, and 4 physical object noun lexemes. And their compatibility with 4 distinctive predicative markers, and just to make sure if it's noun at all, 1 noun marker. But before speaking about numbers and before making suggestions, we shall try to understand some examples and to speak about the numbers in general. So here you may see the general chart of the results which we got. The blue column is the number of lexemes compatibility with all the predicative markers, with 5 predicative markers, and lexeme acting as a verb. And the red column, the total number of lexemes compatibility with predicative characters. I don't say predicative markers in red column because we all know sometimes "zhi" in ancient Chinese texts cannot always be demonstrative pronoun. It can be kind of a de, for example. So it's not always a demonstrative pronoun, and the red column is the total quantity of these characters. And you will see that the first 4 noun lexemes, abstraction noun lexemes, are more willing to accept these predicative markers, rather physical object lexemes. We shall take a look at the examples with these markers. And the first one was about demonstrative pronoun, and you may see a kind of an interesting situation, kind of an interesting case on the screen. Like, for example, in 1b, you may see sin. Acting as a noun, it means punishment, and acting as a verb, it means to punish. And looking at 1a, we may say that instinctively, zui, acting as a verb means a guilt. Instinctively, it should be to be guilty, but it means to punish. And this is kind of an interesting situation. I guess I should dive into phonological reconstruction, maybe to understand the reasons, but I haven't done it yet, but I guess it should be done, of course. In 1c, you may see noun, physical object noun lexeme compatibility with this G, and it seems like there is no problems. The second verbal marker is bu. Bu hai usually, obviously hai in this clause acts as a predicate, and the same is for tai. Acting as a verb means to wear something on the belt or to wear something as a belt. So obviously it's a verb in here. Nan, modal verb, and of course the modal verbal marker. You may see that in 3a, it's again our li acts as a predicate for this clause. In 3b, bu acting as a verb means to drum or to play some musical instrument. Right here it means to play the scene. So, and the very interesting marker, passive marker, verbal marker bei. We may think that there is that physical object noun lexemes can accept this passive marker, but we'll talk about it later. It's a wrong suggestion. And one modal verb, ke, also verbal marker. Again, we may think that there is no problems with compatibility. We'll see the examples. All our noun lexemes acting as a predicate for these clauses. And the last one, noun marker, negative. So we know that fei or as a negative marker are used only to nouns. And well, we should get back to our table. And firstly, we shall take a look at bright purple line bei plus lexeme. We can easily see that there are some questions about physical object nouns compatibility with this passive marker. They are not willing to accept this marker at all, except for the Jan. And we have already seen this example, but in 14th century is just one example, just one clause with this marker. I guess it cannot indicate the fact that physical object nouns can accept this marker. You may ask me why li, an abstraction noun lexeme, also doesn't accept this marker. So I only guess, but yes, I guess that it is because of the semantics of this verb. We may easily say a boy who was banished, it's okay, but we can't say a boy who was prohibited, it just doesn't sound logical. And I guess it's because of the semantics of this word. Now please take a look at dark purple line, he plus lexeme and nen plus lexeme, modal verbs. And obviously, all abstraction noun lexemes are really willing to accept these markers. And we can say the same thing for physical object noun lexemes. They just do not accept it, except for the one word, gu. Gu numbers are really high, just like abstraction noun lexemes. Why is it so? I guess because gu as a noun means a drum, but acting as a verb, it means to drum or to play some musical instrument. But also in military-themed texts dedicated to war or to art of war, we may see clauses like he inspired his army, or the general inspired his soldiers to defeat the enemies. And this inspire is our character, is our gu. So I guess it was something like he inspired his soldiers with the help of the drums, but still inspire in this case is no longer a physical object, it's already an abstraction. So I think partly we may join this gu with abstraction noun lexemes, and that is why the drum numbers are so high. And the last one, lines, two lines, green line and yellow line, compatibility with gu and demonstrative pronoun ju. It is obvious that abstraction nouns lexemes are again willing to accept these markers, and physical object noun lexemes have some problems with that. We can say that physical object noun lexemes have some problems with ju, but their numbers are really low. We cannot compare, like for example, 75 out of 231 and 4 out of 14. It's just two different situations. And again, to our general chat, we may suggest that maybe there is kind of a pole, kind of a continuum, where one pole is a pole of the basic noun, and the other pole is the pole of the basic verb. And all these noun lexemes, yes, they save their basic syntactic functioning as a noun, but they can share verbal pole properties in more or less degree. Like for example, the first word high will be closer to the verbal pole rather the last word jump. And that is how we may place all the noun lexemes on the continuum of lexical categories in ancient Chinese, but speaking only about nouns and verbs. And yes, it is possible to divide nouns and verbs into two different groups. We can say that there is a noun, and now it transforms into a verb, and we have no rules. It's ancient Chinese, we can do whatever we want. Now it is not so. We can say that one lexeme can effectively share two different categories properties. And based on this, we may say, as I already said in the beginning of my speech, that syntactic function shift doesn't indicate the total absence of the basic syntactic function, but maybe the marker of lexeme's basic syntactic function existence and only its possibility for a shift. So this is the selected references. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Anastasia. Any questions? 可以用中文、俄文都可以。
Suggestion about it was very interesting report. translated as to incriminate. In that case, the transition process will be more visible.
Maybe. But speaking about translation, it wasn't my individual translation. It was translation was made by Leg, James Leg or Michael Rowe. So it's not my individual product. But yes, okay, it's a question of the translation.
About the bay, you consider bay as a marker for verbs, but in Old Chinese, we should be more careful about the nature of bay. It is possible that the element following bay could be a noun in Old Chinese, like bay, bay originally means be covered or be given. So I didn't see clearly your example of bay. Bei zui, I guess it might be, the zui might be a noun. It was not to punish, but it could mean bei zui was given crime or something, was considered.
So, yeah. The person who was considered to be a criminal.
Bei is a verb in this construction. Zui is a noun. I think bei zui means literally it means what's covered by the name of crime. So you can say from the character, bei originally means kind of quilt. So it's something, it's quilt originally that it can extend to refer to be covered. Yeah. Or you can
so
undergo or experience something like that. It could be a verb.
So the one who was covered in crimes.
Right, something like that. Yeah. So in Luhe, in Han Dynasty, this kind of construction, the bei is not the passive marker. It's still a verb. It was still a verb.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or maybe commentaries? 也可以用汉语提问，汉语、俄语、英语都可以。Okay, so thank you, Anastasiya.